Wow. So, hello and welcome back. Happy New Year. I hope everybody had like a fantastic New Year's Eve if you celebrate. And if you're like me and you just play video games until you got sleepy, I hope you did whatever it was you were trying to do in your video games. Actually, speaking of video games, it's the reason why I'm doing a sit down and talk rather than any other kind of video because I just spent most of today in The Sims 4 in my most hated portion of The Sims 4, which is create a sim, because I'm going to be starting a new I talked about it on a live stream a couple weeks ago. I'm going to be doing a hybrid challenge because I wanted to restart the Forgotten Legacy challenge, which is a really fun one because it's basically D&D in The Sims 4 with all sorts of different things. And that one's a lot of fun, and maybe someday I will go back to it. But then I also was watching a whole lot of James Turner and Kelsey and Peacha K on my YouTube channel, or on my YouTube for Me page. And they've both done the Tiny Town Challenge recently. But I can't really do it the way they did it because I don't have the for rent pack. And honestly, the way Kelsey's doing it with the roommate systems just looks like it would be a giant pain in my rear end. So I did a little research looking into the different forums to see what people were doing if they don't have those packs. And a lot of people said that they just put everybody into a household and just sort of left them as like a holding area. They've got all the basic needs. You'll see it when I start the video. And then you just play them rotationally. You spin a wheel or whatever, pick out the sim that you're going to be playing as, who has their skill that they have to earn money with, and their preferred decorating style. And you start them out with $0 and you try to build a tiny house in their preferred style and going according to their personality. And that's a lot of fun. And then I was like, but I could do that with the Forgotten Realms. And I was trying to think about it. And then I was like, you know what? I just want to merge the two games that I play the most often together. So what I ended up doing was I made 8 of my characters who play on Moonguard, which is a role-playing server in World of Warcraft, and I made them as Sims. And it took me all day, and I'm not really sure that they're exactly like their World of Warcraft selves, but I think they're close enough. And it's a fun way for me to try to meld two video games that I really love. So I'll probably be starting that next week. I've gotten a lot of it done. It's going to be a lot of fun because each sim I went through and I set up a lot for each of them. They're all going to be playing in Newcrest. And I set up a lot for each of them. They don't have much because once they move there, they're going to have all of their money taken away. It's going to be harder for some of them than others. But they all have, and this is according to the James Turner Deligracy, Kelsey and Peacha K rules, they all have something to help them start out. They all start off with a tent, so they aren't going to be like crying and not able to sleep. They all start off with a pee bush so that, their bladders don't explode. And they all start off with something to help them in their skill. And then just a few little decorative items around. And that's all they're going to have to start with. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun because I want to show them in World of Warcraft and then transition them into their sim selves. I don't know. It might be something you guys enjoy watching, if for no other reason than it probably will be ridiculous and, and a lot of fun and silly. And I'll probably have lots and lots of questions like one of them is definitely going to be a writer, so I'll need book titles. And, one of them is going to be a painter, one of them is going to be a winemaker. One of them is going to be an archaeologist because that is what the World of Warcraft character she's based on is the best at, is archaeology. One is going to be a baker and basically YouTuber eventually when she gets there. But it's going to be a lot of fun. At least I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to have fun. Hopefully anybody will watch it, but I'm going to have fun doing it. So that was what I spent the day doing. In fact, I spent so much of the day doing it that I didn't even get around to recording the chapter that I had to do tonight, which is last night for you guys, until like 4:30 or 5 o'clock. I also kind of forgot to eat most of the day, but that's not an issue for me because I have enough padding to last me a while. Speaking of that, let's transition into, do you guys do New Year's Eve or New Year's resolutions? Most of the time I don't, because I feel like New Year's resolutions are almost always just guaranteed to fail. But I'm kind of wondering, I'm not making any firm resolutions, but I am trying to be better. I'm trying to, everybody always has the lose weight resolution, but more specifically, I just want to get some more movement into my days because once my plantar fasciitis or whatever is wrong with that one foot started acting up, I stopped doing epic walks and I miss them. I'm still having pain in that foot, so I don't think I can do an 8-mile walk, but I could probably manage a 30-minute or 40 minutes a day. So I've kind of not really a resolution to do that, but a hope that I'll do that. I'm also going to try really hard to keep my kitchen nicer. I've always had a messy kitchen, and I go through phases where I do my best to make sure that the dishes are done every night and the counters are wiped down, and then life gets in the way, and the next thing you know, I have a sink full of dishes, and yeah, that's never good. It's funny because my mom, rest her soul, I loved my mom so much, but she was not the world's best housekeeper. And neither was my dad. But my mom was marginally better than her mom, who was definitely not the world's best housekeeper. Like bordering on, ooh, that's not good at all. So my mom was a little bit better than her mom. I think I'm a little bit better than my mom was most of the time. So I'm hoping that in a few more generations, if my kids have kids, if not, it ends with them. But I'm hoping that each generation we get a little bit better. But I am not good at organization. I've never been good at organization. And I think this year I'm going to make an effort to just be better and, just start with one little thing at a time. So those are my New Year's, not resolutions. We're going to call them New Year's goals. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you guys make resolutions or do you just sort of go with the flow and try to do better? Do you make goals? I'm very curious. I know too many people that make New Year's resolutions and then like 3 weeks later they've already broken their resolutions, so that never really seemed to make a lot of sense to me. Anyway, that's about it. I just figured I would sit here and chit chat with you. Also, oh, in case you missed my community tab post, I'm so excited to let you guys know now. I didn't want to say anything at first, A, because I wasn't sure they were going to use any of the video, even though they sent a form and I had to sign a release and everything. And B, I wasn't sure it was real even when I was signing the release, but I was contacted a couple of weeks ago by someone at Blizzard, the makers of World of Warcraft, wanting to use a little bit of my Running of the Gnomes live stream, and they did. And I linked the video in my community tab. I was just so thrilled. I mean, I felt kind of silly because of course the one frame that they got, or the one little bit that they got of me, was me saying there's so many gnomes, because it was at the Running of the Gnomes, which is an annual charity event. And I mean, there had to have been 500 little pink-haired gnomes running around, including my character, a little pink-haired gnome. And it was just fun. But they used it. It was so cool. I mean, no money or anything. I don't care. It was just so cool to be in an official World of Warcraft video, like on their official page and everything. And that thrilled me to no end. So figured I would share that with you. It was one of those, wow, I can't believe that happened. So anyway. Thank you for listening to me. Please do hit the thumbs up on your way out. It does always make me smile. Don't forget, if you're up on Friday nights, I'm always live streaming from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until around midnight. We usually play The Sims, but sometimes we play World of Warcraft too. Anyway, thank you for listening to me babble, and I will see you later.